Great to see you all again. This is the second workshop in the topic of communications and digital communications. We are very thankful to have you all again today. And just to give you a welcome, and now Oriana has the ground to keep on working on this.
Great, thank you. Hi, welcome everybody. How are you today? How was your day? Everything's good? Good. Happy to see you again. Dun. I think I will, share my screen. Can you see? Good?
Yeah.
Good.
Yes, can see.
Okay. Perfect, thank you. So welcome again to our digital communication workshop. Again, I'm really excited to share this information with you guys. The first thing that I want to talk with you, it's about the homework, the assignment. How was for you to work with your teams on this? I would like to know, it was difficult for you or maybe something that was easy? Can you share maybe your comments? Could be to the chat, or maybe you can share at this moment with the audio. Someone of you can share how was your performance doing the homework. How do you feel? Dun. Someone here like Renee, Arnold, anyone that can share? Don't be shy. Kieran, Rana, Kevin. Even if you don't make the exercise, also you can share the information. You can say like, we already work on that, or maybe it was difficult for us, or we don't have the time to do this. Also, you can share this with us. This is the moment to talk about it. How do you feel? It was insightful. Great, Carol. Thanks for sharing. So I noticed that I just received a few hungers from you guys. So what I decide is to use this moment to work together on your objective, your goals, your audience. I think it's important in order to move on with the next content that we start here. So what I make a plan to play with you in order to make this activity together, and I can help you to find maybe your objective. So what I want to do now is to talk with you. I will stop sharing, and maybe we can talk about your objectives, your audience, what are your goals, and also the digital channels that you are working on. So if it's someone from the Society for Inherited or Severe Blood Disorders, or the Belize Organization, Barbados, Hemophilia of Jamaica, maybe Bahamas, we can talk about. Who is the first organization? Who wants to talk? Who is the brave one? Dun. No one? Let me hear you. We are here to talk. Don't worry. I am friendly.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
I'm Giovanni from the Hemophilia Society of Jamaica. And just to say, I apologize for missing the first session due to work.
Okay. Don't worry. I am happy that you are part of this second session. So in order to give you a little bit of context of what we talked Tuesday, we were talking about how important it is to find your objective and your audience in order to have a good conversation. But why? Because if we talk with an audience that we don't know, it's like we will not have like conversations, like topics with that person. If like we don't know each other, but I try to speak with you like, hey, I'm posting something. You need to see why I'm posting. I need a like. But you don't understand what I'm talking about. So we were trying to find the objective of our communication and also the audience that we will like to talk. So first, let's talk about the objective. Do you want to be the first from Bahamas or Jamaica? Jamaica want to be the first? Good? No?
I can give it a try.
Yes? Perfect. I love that answer. Great. So first, let's try with our objective. What we want to achieve with the idea of manage our communications on digital. What we want to celebrate there. Last class, we saw that we have these few options that we can choose as an objective. What do you think? Which one is the one that you say, this will be for us? Ta-da-ta-da.
Improve interactions.
Okay, improve interaction.
They like inform, just to the next slide I was reading it.
Sorry.
Inform.
Okay.
Yeah, inform other people in the area to raise awareness about the conditions, because in Trinidad and Tobago, the population of hemophiliac is pretty small, probably less than 500. So we want to create awareness. People may not be aware of the condition nationally. So that is important to create that awareness in every situation. And if we use any online platform as one of the is a good way to create that awareness, because most people connected to some form of social media or the other. So creating that awareness is very important for the conditions, not only hemophilia, but sickle cell and thalassemia.
Perfect. I think it's a good one. I think that social media and digital channels in general are a good opportunity to increase your reach with different audience that they don't know nothing about this condition. So we're not going into the streets or maybe in meetings like talking about hemophilia, but maybe on internet, we can talk about this every day. So it's an opportunity for us to create awareness about the hemophilia community in the digital channel. So I think it's a good one. I remember that you say another one. Which one was? Sorry? Increase interactions, right?
Yeah, it's that one I was saying, inform people in the area to raise awareness. That is the one I was dealing with specifically. Yeah.
Perfect. So we have create awareness and also increase interactions. How are your interactions now? How many social media channels do you manage on your organization?
That's for Jamaica, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So we have our main social media that we have doing a bit of campaign is Instagram. We have Facebook, and also we recently started our YouTube channel, which we're working on contents we can create, upload to send the positive message across.
Perfect. So you have Instagram and now Facebook. Another one like a website or maybe Facebook? Don't you have?
Facebook, yes. We have Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. There is no official website as yet.
Okay, perfect. Good. So I already... Miguel, are you writing the answers? Oh, Miguel is not here. I think he lose the connection.
Yes, I'm here. I'm
sorry.
I'm typing right now. You can see it in the screen.
Okay, good.
Ariana, I had a question. Sorry.
Hi, Rana, of course.
So when you provided the instructions of how to choose the audience, you had a set of questions. Did you mean that we should answer those questions, or did you mean, as a way of analysis to understand the audience? For example, you had, where do you live? What are you interested in? I can open the document maybe. Did you mean that there needed to be an analysis of what the interests are of the different audiences and where they live and all that? or what exactly did you mean? Because your instructions sheet had some questions that I didn't quite understand.
Okay, good to know that. Thanks for sharing, Rana. I couldn't hear that well what you say. I will try to give you the answer, but if you need more help, you can tell me. I think my connection is not working that well. So in terms of the audience, it's really interesting to understand which one is the person that I want to talk. But we don't have to just think about the person. We also have to understand the interests, the things that that person can consider value. And after this, we can create content and taking this into account. Why? Because if you only say, for example, I need to talk with the mothers of the hemophilia community and the family members, and we just say that, but we don't go deep thinking about the worries that this mother can have, also how the patient feel with their mothers, their relationship, how is the relationship in all the family if they have brothers, sisters. So the thing to analyze your audience, the reason it's because you need to understand what that people matters. So in order to understand that matters, that topics that are important for them, I ask for a few questions or interests that we need to know in order to understand that person. So one of the things that I include, for example, is the country where they live. The country where they live will change all the perspective of the person. So if I am from Venezuela, Panama, Jamaica, Bahamas, I am really different because it's my culture. I speak in a way. So this is the first thing that I have to think. Second, what this person do for a living? This person work? This person maybe it's making work in home? What happened with this person during the pandemic? She's still working this month? So we start thinking stuff about this every day of this person. Also, for me, it's important that you understand the interests that this person have. She likes to cook. She likes to watch movies. She likes to play music. She has time for this. And now we go deeper. Which digital channels she visit? She likes Facebook. She likes YouTube. Or maybe she just Googled something. She wants to know something and she just Google it. She don't have Facebook. She don't have Instagram. She just wants watch tutorials on YouTube. So it's important to understand the context of the person because this will give you the information for create content. Please let me know if I am explaining myself.
Yes, I get that. And that was precisely my question. And I put your list of questions in the chat. So my question is this. How do you collect all this information? Do you have to do surveys? Because, how do you know what people Google? So that was precisely my question. Thank you. Yes, sorry.
Maybe I can help you with that. I think that what Oriana is trying to do with those questions is for you to think of a prototype of a mother, a patient, a doctor, someone in one of those audiences that can be wanting to reach your social media network. So in that way, with those questions that do not need to be exactly the information related to one specific person, but an array of people who more or less may think the same. So if it is a mother, if it is a young mother, what are the interests of young mothers in general, let's say? So it's not something specific of one person in itself, but more or less to have an idea of what things could be. So maybe you can do some kind of informal research if you want, but there's no need to have a specific data or to do something too specific, let's say. Is it clear?
I will add
I think
that.
one of the things, sorry, good night. I think one of the things that helped us first was looking at our membership. The persons who are, especially those who are active participants in our membership. So let's say, for example, we look at those members from the group of hemophilia. So they are patients and they are caregivers, right? And then you look at that profile of membership. So their ages, roughly, generally, their characteristics or demographic characteristics. Those are the things that help us to identify our audience first. And I would say that's the primary audience. There will be others that we want to reach because there are persons out there who we know are not members, but they may have hemophilia or they may know persons who have hemophilia. But helping us to look at the membership first helps us to identify the types of people that we're reaching out to.
Yes, perfect. Yes, I would like to add that when we talk about our audience, more than a perfect statistic is the ideal audience that we want to reach. For example, if I know that mothers used to do this, or maybe it's common that in my country, the mothers, the patient mothers, do this kind of stuff or have this kind of pains or worries or bad situations, that is something in common that we can create and write on this kind of information. But you don't need to make a survey, for example. Maybe later you want to make a comparison between what your ideal audience is versus the one that you have. So that's important, but also you have to think in one that is ideal for you. That makes sense? Good? I sent the video with...
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Always the same people. So what Rana is saying here is that you have the same audience on Twitter, Facebook, on Instagram. Is the same people?
What I meant to say is whether it's mothers or youth or fathers or whatever, what I find is that the core people who comment and interact are always the same. So let's say let's say there is an audience which includes, let's assume 100 young men. There's always 2 or 3 that are the most interactive, and then the rest you don't really know if what you're trying to portray, to convey, is reaching them or not, because they're not interactive. That's what I'm trying to say. Sorry.
I think, Oriana, so this idea that Oriana is trying to show is that if you think of these people, what their interests are, what they will usually search for on the social media or on internet, then you can try to find content that they will be interested on. So that in that way you will catch their attention, and then you will make them comment more or give more likes or things like that. Is it right?
Yes. So try to think like in real life. If you don't know someone, but you know that you have just one thing in common, which one will be the topic that you will talk with this person in order to have a conversation? In order to have the attention of that person, you're going to comment something that I know that we have in common. But first, I need to know a little bit about you. I need to know my audience. In order to have your attention, I need to know a little bit of you. Which one are your topics? Which one are the things that you really want? So that's the reason that you need to understand your audience. And this happens in everything in real life. Even if you are in a speaking conversation with a public, you need to understand which kind of person are there. What are their interests? Because if I start to speak with you, for example, you love sport, I don't know, But I start to talk about movies, you will get so worried about the conversation and I will not keep your attention. So always you need to understand what are the interests of your audience in order to get the attention of the person. Good? Good. So thanks for your question, Rana. Was really interesting and necessary. So what we need to complete here is the last one and is the audience. So what the team of Jamaica say? Which one do you think are the person, the people, the audience that you want to reach? Imagine in a profile. Who are they? What are their names?
So we would like to reach out mostly to family members and also community members.
Okay, good. Family member, community members, patients, okay. Which one? Anyone else that you want to talk with them?
And extended
I
family
think
members.
a good audience you also reach out to probably is like the politicians, because by the government, the executive of the country, so them will know about the create awareness amongst this, let them know about this different, like hemophilia, let them know about the conditions. So because remember, them as the decision makers and you will want them to be involved. So getting them a part, making them a part of your target audience could be a good strategy too.
Perfect. Kevin say leaders of the society. Perfect. Yes, that's a good one. I ask you something on your countries. Which is the most common social media channel that the leaders and the political use?
In Trinidad, Facebook is the most popular.
Facebook?
Yeah.
In Jamaica, Instagram is the most popular, and YouTube.
Good. You see, now you understand the power to know your audience. Because if you know that you're talking to leaders in your country, you cannot be in MySpace. Do you remember MySpace? Any of you have MySpace? So if no one is using MySpace or Spotify for something or Hi-Fi, I remember, why I will be there if no one is there? So if you know that your audience use YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, where you have to be? There. Good. Perfect, Jamaica team. Thank you for sharing the information. So, which organization is the next one? Dun, dun, dun. Come on, let's work together. Dun, dun, dun. Is Trinidad and Tobago here?
Yeah, they're the ones who they're they, Jamaica and Guyana are the ones present to this session.
Okay, Guyana can also share with us. Trinidad and Tobago also share the homework with us. Maybe they can give us a little bit of context of why they decide to choose the objectives that they have. Dun, dun, dun.
In Trinidad and Tobago, the general public is not informed enough about the diseases. So our society brings awareness about sickle cell, hemophilia, and thalassemia. And we would like hemophilia, all these blood disorders to be known, like how people would know about diabetes, hypertension, those kind of stuff. So that's why we want to inform more people. In terms of improving interactions, it'll just be to get out to more people to be able to spread the word more.
Okay.
Help achieve the goals of the organization, which is to better health, the treatment, the level of health treatment in the country. And to inform people and raise awareness would also fall on the education.
Great. So one call that I have for the objective, I was talking, I were thinking, sorry, that in terms of your organization goals you have shared with me now, but I would like to go deeper in terms of which one are all the goals or objectives that your organization have, in order to help you to identify which one can be solved via digital. Because there is too many maybe objectives that we can have in an organization, and not always can be solved with something on digital, but a few of them can be solved with the digital channel. So if you can share like a few, don't have to be all, but a few, in order to identify which one can be in the hands of the social media channel.
Ready and Kieran, if you want to take this one.
Well, I would say to inform and raise awareness, some of the primary objectives, and also to improve the quality of care to our members, right? So those are some of the key objectives of the organization itself, right?
Okay.
So a lot of what we put there really relates to those, right? I think a useful objective on social media may also be to get donations, because we need additional funding to do all of the stuff that we would like to do.
Great. So if one of your objectives, for example, is and have a better quality of life for your patients,
yeah,
it will be great now that you know that you can give them information in order to have a better life. So guess what kind of content can you do? What is the better life for the patients? Maybe go out, maybe practice some activities that they think they don't can, maybe about the medicine and the factor. So I think this is a super goal that we can solve, we can achieve with our digital channels. That sounds good for you?
Yeah, it
Sharon,
does.
that's good for you?
Yes,
Great.
yes.
Perfect. Perfect. So someone else wants to share their impressions? Tan, tan, tan. Guyana? Are you there, Guyana? I see you smiling, Guyana.
We have some comments there too also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's read.
Renee's been
Empowered to make informed decision exactly about their treatment, self-care tips, pain management. Perfect. Thanks for sharing, Kevin, Renee. Yeah, that's something really relevant. Also, there is really important because you right here, like being empowered to make informed decisions. A great idea is to show them how another patients in the world are getting results, are empowered. So this is a good way to reveal how the patients can make the change if they want. Do you remember the last sample that I showed you last class, when it was an Instagram account with a mother that she filmed everything about her little son that is a hemophilia patient? And she said the only way that I need to empower another mothers to keep this condition through and make it simple is via Instagram, because Instagram is easy. So this is a way that we have to empower our community, showing another patients that are doing well. That's something that makes sense for you? Good, 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 good. Yeah. Perfect, thanks for your comments. So Guyana, it's your turn. You thought this never will happen, but yes.
Hi, good evening.
Hi.
I'm trying to get up to date. I missed the first meeting, so I'm a bit lost about everything. However, some of the objectives of the other organizations, we share the similar view. for instance, inform people and raise awareness.
Okay.
That's one of the areas we would like to do. I'm trying to read through to just select
Okay.
a few of the stuff. Yes, inform the community, which is almost the same thing as bringing the awareness. Our audience would be the general population of Guyana because of the lack of awareness about bleeding disorders, that a lot of persons are still not aware about bleeding disorders in general and hemophilia.
Okay.
And our second target or second audience that we like to reach out is the government of the day or the politicians or whoever is in charge in a certain area of the healthcare system.
Good.
So those are the two audience or main audience, which the general population would include the patients, families, and so on.
Okay, so this is interesting because you're taking into account that you want to talk with people that don't know nothing about the hemophilia. I ask you, to all of you, I speak with someone that doesn't know nothing about hemophilia the same way that I speak with someone that is into the community of hemophilia. It's the same conversation.
Okay.
So what I want you to think that if I'm talking with someone that doesn't know nothing about hemophilia, I need to have one type of conversation with that person really different if I choose to speak with someone that really knows about hemophilia. I'm explaining myself. So take into account that your conversation will be really different if you speak with someone that knows about hemophilia and someone that doesn't know about hemophilia, okay? So if you speak with someone that doesn't know about hemophilia, you need to explain a lot of stuff. And you need to explain like it's for someone, I always say like, if you can explain something, like if you are talking with a kid of 5 years, it's a good communication because you need to explain yourself in order that a child that only have 5 years old can understand you. So my recommendation, if you want to speak for a general and audience, is that always try to explain in the more simple way all this topic. Okay? Good? Perfect. So the last one, Guyana, your digital channels, which one do you think that you can manage?
Well, the Facebook page is one of the major area that we would be on most of the time. Our audience is mostly on Facebook, WhatsApp, or TikTok, if I'm sure. Yeah, depending on the audience of the age groups and so on, but most persons, even the government information come through Facebook pages and so on.
Perfect. Good to know that about TikTok. I'm really happy. So I don't want to make a spoiler, but let's have the conversation now that we are talking about. So think about this. If we were talking about a general audience, we can be specific. And if we choose each social media channel, for example, if we go to TikTok, TikTok is a social media channel for teenagers, mostly, okay? There is a lot of people there, but mostly teenagers. So guess what? What kind of conversation you will have with a teenager? Are you going to talk with a teenager like when you talk between adults? Or maybe between kids? No. A conversation with a teenager have specific rules because they are teenagers. So when you're going to talk with your audience on TikTok, you have to speak their language. You cannot speak like if you are talking with doctors or maybe with adults. Yes, only trending topics, correct. So that's really interesting to understand. So I want to celebrate with all of you that we finished our first activity. Really happy. Thanks for sharing all the information. Thank you so much. So great. So we are ready to move on. So in general, I have a few recommendations for you. I already mentioned during the activity, but in general terms, please be specific. Don't try to keep all the audience, all the objective, be specific a little bit in order to understand your audience. And important, this can evolve every 3 months. So you don't have to marry with one audience. You can evolve this audience. I recommend that you can check and review every 3 months. If you want to include another audience, if you want to change your message for this audience, social media and digital channels are always changing. So you have to change with this, okay? And whenever you create content, ask yourself, what are your objectives? So it's important every time that you make content, you ask, this is something that is solving my objective? Check, can be published, okay? In terms of the audience, I would recommend that you always think about the interests of your audience, and also you ask them their interests. So if you have the opportunity to make stories, to make questions or Twitter, or maybe on Facebook about their interested, that will be interesting because you're going to understand what they want to learn. Good? Great. So looking forward to move on with the presentation. I remember that I shared the last class with you the big formula to have success on social media. If someone asks you, what are the keys to work with your social media and digital channels? You need to ask a strategy and creativity. A strategy because you need a plan. Creativity because if you have a plan but it's not relevant, guess what? No one will give you a kind of like, or no one will share the content that you have. So we need to be constantly creativity, okay? So one, that you have a strategy and creativity, you need to repeat the equation. What that means, that you need to be constant. I asked you, I was thinking the last night that social media is like make exercise. You don't get the abs, you don't get the muscle if you don't make the exercise every day of your life. So social media is like this, a strategy and creativity, but also you have to repeat once again, you have to repeat every day that you can do it, okay? So now let's go deeply into the part of this formula that is a strategy, okay? So we were talking the last class about 2 terms of our strategy. The first one were the objective, and the second one was the audience. Check, we already have done the theory of this part, that is the boring part, it's done. Now we go into the third part, the action plan and the content. Tan, tan, tan. And what that means, Rihanna? What is the action plan and the content? So in our action plan, we're going to go deep into understanding the digital channels, because we're going to make a evaluation between all the digital channels and why the people go to this app, why the people go for Instagram, why they go to TikTok, or maybe to a website. After that, we are going to understand how to create great content, and also something that is called, I don't know how to pronounce this, but it's pillars, I don't know how to say that. Someone knows? Pillars, okay, perfect. So pillars, that you're going to know more about what the pillars are, and also the content schedule, tan, tan, tan. Because you can have all this, but if you don't have a schedule, it doesn't work, because you need time in order to produce this. So the content calendar will give you an idea which day you have to post, and it's like all the production that you have to do in order to post, okay? So for this class, we will touch base with the first one because it's a long class. So the next one, we will see the last one. So the great content and the content schedule, okay? So starting with this, understanding the digital channels. Let's see how it works. So I ask you, do I have the same topics, conversations, and also aptitude when I speak with people, with some friends in a coffee store, in an office, or maybe in a meeting with your parents? It's the same attitude that I have when I am in these different places. I ask you, here is someone that's saying, no, that's true. That's the answer that I want to hear. So you have to think that each social media channel is like those places. Some people go to they're in a coffee store and they have a behavior. But when they are at the office, they have another behavior. And when they are with their parents, guess what? They are also different. So imagine why one of the things that TikTok has so much success is because always the teenagers are where their parents are not. So if their parents are on Facebook and Instagram, where they don't want to be there. So if there is a new social media channel like TikTok that is fun and all my friends are there, guess what? I will go to TikTok. So every time I will make like a prediction. Every time there is a new generations of teenagers like millennials, Gen Z, always will be a new platform to allow them, to hold them, because they need different space in order to be themselves. So always think the social media channels as a different places and they have different behaviors, okay? Perfect. Now that you know that, we have to understand where the people is. When the people ask, Oriana, where I have to be, which social media channels, where? Well, you have to understand where the people is. But this doesn't mean that you have to be where everybody is just because the entire planet is there. You have to think more about your audience. What I can share with you, that the most popular and social media channels and digital channels are Facebook, YouTube, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, Instagram, WeChat, TikTok, and there is a lot more like Snapchat, Telegram, Pinterest, Twitter, and other ones. But these 5 first spot give you the idea of maybe where your audience make life. So if you ask me about which one of these I have to introduce my team, myself, my organization, I would recommend that you always have into your plan at least one of the first 5 options. So if you can have like a YouTube channel, maybe have WhatsApp. But if you don't, someone is there, talk, good. Any questions? No? Okay. So if you want to find which one is for you, let's ask ourselves where your audience is. Now you know that the planet is on Facebook, YouTube, and WhatsApp. Now the work for us is understand where our audience are. So first, social media channels. The options that we have are those spaces where the people share their everyday information. What are the benefits or the social media channels, or what we have to understand there? That the social media channels are opportunity to share the vision of your company. Imagine that before the social media channels, the company doesn't have like a public space to reach everyone, to share who they are, their values, what they think about one specific topic. Have you ever seen when something happened like public and some brands started tweeting something like, I think this about this conversation, and the people start to retweet like, oh my God, this brand feel connect with this idea. So thanks to social media, we have the opportunity to understand what the brands, the organization thinks. Another stuff about the social media channels is that the information, it's for all. Now I can give you my opinion. Now I can talk with you. So it will happen with, for example, with your organization. So many patients like to maybe comment your post and made a kind of protest, or they say like, I don't like this, or I like this, because they know that social media is a place to express yourself. So you have to take this into account. If someone comments something that you don't like about your organization, you need to understand that this is the nature of the social media channels, that the people can express themselves. So if you try to block this opportunity to express yourself, it's not something that's going to work well. So make sure to understand that this is a space for democracy, where the people can speak, okay? And another stuff that I want to share is that social media is not about being perfect. It's about being interesting. In social media, the contents that wins is the interesting content, not the perfect one. Have you ever seen the viral videos that are not perfect, but they are interesting, they are fun, and everybody wants to see this? But then a big company make a big video with a great production and no one likes. Social media is for the people, and that's important. So I want to share this because if once you have to share something and you see that the video is not perfect, but is interesting, please post it, okay? So let's understand about Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Facebook, of course, the most famous because one was one of the first on this game. They have 2,000 millions of users. That is a lot of people. The interesting of Facebook is that they have like a big range of age. For example, they have people from like teenagers. That is not that common, but they have audience and teenagers and also adults. So it's interesting because you have like a huge range of ages on Facebook. Also, for your information, Facebook can be found when someone Google about hemophilia. If someone asks something on Google, if you make a post on Facebook about this question, they will find you through Google. So this is something important, okay? In order to give you more ideas or what the people is looking for when they go to Facebook, it's information. If you go to Facebook, what are you looking for? I will go for information, memories, like photos, your family, friends, things that are memories. Events, you want to know about the events, and also news. So I ask you, what kind of content do you think that you have to share on Facebook? Information, news, keep the people updated because it's Facebook, the people want to see this. And also look forward or look the most common questions that the people ask on Google about your topics and answer on Facebook. Make a post about those questions, those common questions that you can make. I will share with you via the Telegram channel a website that if you write your topic like hemophilia, they will give you the questions that the people make about your community, okay? So I will share with you via the Telegram channel, okay? Second one, Instagram. Well, Instagram is a big one too. And Instagram has 1,000 millions of users. There's a lot of users there also. So the ages on Instagram are between 15 and 50 years. And also is a big range, an important range of ages. So what are the people looking for on Instagram? I remember that the last class I asked, when you go to Instagram, what are you looking? Learning, videos? What are you looking when you go to the app? And actually, when you go there, it's for entertainment. It's like, I don't want to do what I'm doing. Let me go for Instagram. And I'm like too worried about something and I want to like clear my mind a few seconds, we go to Instagram. So guess what? Instagram is a place where we go for entertainment, for see what the others are doing, and also for information. If something is important happening around the world, you go to Instagram to see what the people is saying about that. But the most common and frequent is entertainment and what the people do. Okay, so when you're going to share content on Instagram, your content has to be creative, have to be catchy, because the people is looking to refresh their minds, okay? Now, TikTok, TikTok, it's really interesting because they have a great performance last year, and TikTok started to be like a big one for the teenagers, but after the pandemic, they start to reach more communities and more ages. So TikTok now, it's an important platform if you have the opportunity to use, okay? So they have 600 millions of users, still being a lot of person there, but the ages are between 12 and 28 years old. So what are the people looking for there on TikTok? They definitely want to entertainment. They want authentic and fun content. They want loud, they want trivias, they want tutorials, and also product recommendations. Something interesting about TikTok is that they work as a search place. If you go to Instagram, you don't go and search something like exercise, music. You don't do this on Instagram. But on TikTok, when you go to the search place, you can write something and they will show you all the content that they have about this topic. So it's important to understand that if someone is looking for information about hemophilia, TikTok is like a kind of Google on social media that will show and answer all the questions that the person have about this topic. So TikTok is really interesting in that way. And the last one that I show you, because there is a lot of options, but I show you, is Twitter, that they also have a good numbers of members. And what I can say about Twitter is that the people go there more for information, like trending topics, but they want to know information. It's not like trending topic like TikTok, like something fun. It's more like political context, yeah, about your country. Also updated news, something official. The people want to know what is happening. Thank you to Twitter. So also you will have another platforms, I know, but think something. You need to be where your audience is, okay? So also another option that you can have, it's LinkedIn or LinkedIn. Do you know which one is? It's the professional social media channel, LinkedIn or LinkedIn. And it's that this social media channel is used for professional stuff. So if you want to reach like companies or that kind of public or audience, it's important that you go there. I will write the name of the app in order that you can like go deeply and maybe you can make an investigation about it. So telling you now about social media, let's go with messaging. What is messaging? Those are the platforms that we have that are more for texting, that every day. So we have the option of WhatsApp and Telegram. Why these channels are important for you? Because they are the most friendly, and you don't need too much like Wi-Fi connection or data. And also the people always use WhatsApp. You are every time on your day, like talking with people on WhatsApp. So it's a good channel for you to communicate with your audience because they keep connect. Also, it's important and also interesting to know that WhatsApp, have a 60-70 open rate. That means that the people open more the messages from WhatsApp than another place. So in WhatsApp, you have a big probability that the people read your message. So ideas for WhatsApp can be interesting if you create a channel, a WhatsApp group, and also you can create dependent of your audience. You can create one for mothers, one for patients, one for doctors. They don't have to be each other like together. They can be separated depending of their interest, okay? So if you create a channel, a WhatsApp group for doctors of your region, of your country, you can share constantly information with them about medical stuff. If you create one for patients, guess what? You will share content that they matter, and also for mothers. So the important thing is that you understand the channel, but also the audience that you are talking about. That makes sense for you? Good. So I include Telegram because Telegram is getting like a big reach during the pandemic and all these problems that have WhatsApp. So also it's interesting because the people is using Telegram is not that frequently like WhatsApp, but also the people like to have this kind of spaces to chat with people. So it's another option. And also Telegram have more options than WhatsApp, okay? If you are interested to know more about a specific channel, digital channel, I will write this in our Telegram channel. I don't know if you are aware, a few of them that are new on this class, but we create a Telegram group, a Telegram channel, when I will share information with you, a complementary information about this. So I will make a survey with you that asking you which one channel do you want that I send more information to Telegram, okay? Next one, videos and audios, So you have the options of YouTube, Spotify. The thing here is that you need like more production because they talk about videos and also audios. So the podcasts, for example, are already trend and it's really friendly for the person because maybe some people doesn't like to be on camera and make a video, but maybe in a podcast, you just can and talk with the people about a conversation, make an interview, and it's also interesting. I would like to give you a few examples of podcasts about hemophilia. I don't know if you know them, but for example, there is a podcast about hemophilia. I think it's from US, that is Bloodstream Media. So they make content and interviews about different topics about the hemophilia with different professionals. And it's really interesting. And they have this reach. They have a good job. You can hear it. I will play a few seconds. Let me stop to sharing because I need to share my audio. I'm back. Sorry. Good. We're back.
This week on Bloodstream, COVID and hemophilia, clinical trials and adverse events, and surgery with von Willebrand disease are just some of the topics covered during last week's European Association for Hemophilia and Allied Disorders virtual conference. We'll provide some key takeaways and share our thoughts on things like the future of factor VIII concentrate.
What a cliffhanger, Lynch. Hey, speaking of cliffhangers, later in the show, we'll be joined by Dr. Angela Wyant, a pediatric hematologist and oncologist out of the University of Michigan, who may be best known for her well-informed and highly opinionated Shematologist Twitter account.
You see, it's really interesting. They have a TV show and you can do this just with Zoom. You can make a video and interview with people around the world that you can make an interview, and you just use on Facebook, and it's a really interesting content that you can make for the community.
This week on Bloodstream.
Also, they have like different sections. They have like a Spanish version that is really interesting. So I think that can be something that you can do. And YouTube, it's interesting because it's also from Google. So if someone Googles something and your video answer that question, that information, they can find this information. So it's really interesting. What you have to do is like create a few topics that you want to talk about it, make a Zoom meeting to talk with different experts and professionals about the conversation. And after, you just have to edit the video. So it's really interesting. Also, there are programs or audios that they create not on Spotify or maybe YouTube, but they have in a website. So this is also interesting for your community. And also, if you go for Spotify, there are Hemophilia Talk podcasts when they share also conversations about the hemophilia. In this specific audio, it says that what we are waiting of the future of the treatment with the hemophilia A. So they have an interview with an expert and they talk about the hemophilia A. So that's interesting. And this is something that maybe you can do. So telling you that, I just want to give you a few examples of stuff that you can do. That is something executable for you because we have technology, we have your computer, we have Zoom, we have people, you as a leader of your organization can reach and people that you can interview, okay? Do you like these ideas for YouTube, for Zoom? It's something good for you? Good? So we are almost done, okay? Almost done. So email marketing, it's another option that you have in terms of digital. And what I really like about email marketing is that can work as a monthly newsletter when you share all the information with your community. And it's like a recap of what you have done during a month, during the last 3 months. So email marketing, it's a good option for you if you don't have all the team for create everyday content for social media channels, but maybe you want to keep your audience informed about this, but you create a monthly newsletter. So this is a good information for people and also can be a good reading. Also, newsletter can be used for call events or maybe activities that you have. Also, email marketing keep members educated on your advancement. And it also allows you to have a database. And that's important that you have a database because you can reach your contents. Do you remember that the last Tuesday, Facebook, Instagram were down? Imagine if you have your database for email marketing. You can connect with your audience, even if Facebook or Instagram are not available for you. So it's also important, doesn't depend of one channel, like social media channels. You can also have information, value information in a newsletter. Last class, we were talking about, for example, you asked me, if I want to reach medicals, doctors, but I don't want to make and create content every day for them. I ask you, you have the option to create a newsletter just for doctors, and every month you keep them informed. Also, this is something that you can create with politicals, with leaders. If you have the email of a political and you constantly send them information, not in order to ask for something or request something, just inform about the community as a newsletter. They will know about you. Trust me, when you knock the door and you tell them, I am the part of the hemophilia community. Oh, you are hemophilia community. I receive your emails every month. So this is something that can help you to reach a specific audience, and it's not something that will need a lot of production. It's something that you can do every month. Good? Perfect. So this is the last one, that are websites. So websites are important for your community and also for your organization, because they work as your organization hub. Okay, what is important here? Okay, if I ask you, Facebook doesn't work, Instagram doesn't work, you don't have the time to make email marketing, but I ask you, no, you ask me, Oriana, if I can only do one effort on digital, what do you recommend? For me, the basic thing is to have your website. Because when someone Google about your community in their countries, it's the way that they have to find you. For example, if a mom from Jamaica Google something about hemophilia, if you have a website, that they will find information. They will find that you are from Jamaica and you are about hemophilia community, and they can contact you, they can reach you. So website can be something that you feel like is too much for your organization because you need to make a big website. And there is a few options, free options, where you can create your website and can be really friendly. So I will share with you also via Telegram. So please make sure to be on the Telegram channel. Pages, platforms that can help you to create an easy website. And I have you a great news. You can do a website just using this platform and YouTube. With a YouTube tutorial, you can create your website. So there is a platform that is called Wix.com that they have, I don't know if you know them, but they have a really friendly platform when you can create your website and you don't have to pay too much. If you have to upgrade your website, you have to pay something, but you have the free version that can be really useful for you. So I have the website for, I select the website for the last spot, like the last one, because for me, the website is the most important. It's the first thing that you have to include in your digital communication. Imagine that the leader found a letter or an email from your organization. And that person say, who are they? Let me Google them. And they will Google you. And they will not find anything. Nothing, official source that they will find. And now, if you have a website and they see who you are, your events, your activities, the organizations, the others organization and that you work together, maybe those leaders can say, I can understand what they are doing. Maybe I can help them. I know that I can help them. So it's important to have a hub, a digital hub telling you in that way, in order to have all the information that will really matter for them. So telling you that, I would like to give you the assignment of the class. And what you have to do, first, you have to describe your audience. We talk about this a little bit today, and specify in which digital channel this person is active. So you're going to write your audience, and then you're going to write, this person is on Facebook. And after this, you're going to write the name of the person of your audience, the ideal name, and you're going to choose 4 topics, like talking points that you can have with this person. Think about these like topics. For example, I choose mothers. So I say mothers are on Facebook and they go for information on Google. That means website. That means that they will find you via website. And then there are the talking points. For example, I found 3. First, how to explain to your child that he is an hemophilia patient for the first time. So if I'm talking with mothers, all the mothers have explained to their child for the first time that they are patient with hemophilia. So what happens if you go with a professional in the area and you ask him about the recommendations about how to introduce your child to the topic of the hemophilia? Another idea that I have, care for children with hemophilia at school. This is something that's so common. The mothers are like scared when their child go the first time to school. Which one are the cares that they have to have with their child the first time that they go to the school? How to explain to the teachers, how to explain with the other children and mothers. That's something interesting. Also, 3 TV shows or series to watch with the family. So I just give you 3 ideas. I asked for 4, but I give you 3 ideas, just thinking in a common mom of the hemophilia community. Now imagine you guys that know more than me about the hemophilia community, all the topics that you can think. So important, please take into account the 5 digital channels and options that I already give to you. YouTube, email marketing, websites, TikTok, okay? So, any questions so far about this? Let me see you in order to give you more pressure. What do you think? How do you feel? Please, let me know if you feel like overwhelmed with all this information. I know that for me, it's really hard to explain myself in English. So I want to make sure that you can understand everything that I say, because if I don't explain myself, I will do it again, okay? So feel free to reach me if you need help. Let me know, how do you feel about the class today? Do you feel disconnect with you? That makes sense? Or it's not like, Oriana, are you crazy? This is not something that we can work. How do you feel?
This session was very informative.
Okay.
It was really important.
Thank you. Great. And how do you feel? Do you think that it's something that you can make, or it's really hard?
On it.
I couldn't hear.
It doesn't really seem that hard, but I'll definitely take some time to do it.
Okay, good. Okay, great. The next class, we will see a little bit of organization in order to help you to execute this plan.
Yes.
Good?
I think Arnold was trying to say something, but we can't hear him.
Okay.
He might be muted, Arnold. You might be muted, Arnold.
No, he's not muted, but okay, try now. No, we can't hear you. Maybe you can write on the chat box. And there's another comment there. Okay, Kevin says that.
I can read maybe the comments. They say
yes.
that Kevin is telling us that an additional benefit of the website is that you can advertise or redirect them your social media from it. Perfect. Yes, I actually write you a few benefits.
Oriana, I was thinking about, remember what Theo's mother told us in the interview? So we some time ago we did an interview of the Coalition of the Americas with Theo's mother. Theo was the baby that Oriana showed you in the TikToks, and what she said was that she had her father, I think, had hemophilia, so she had this bad image of hemophilia because the treatment was very bad at the moment and all. So when she was pregnant with Theo, she was very scared and she didn't know what was going to happen to him. So she Googled and tried to find information about hemophilia nowadays. And she said that she was even more scared because the information that she found was really chaotic and extreme, and so she was she almost panicked. But what saved her was that she found her NMO's website, and there she could get in touch with the NMO, with the president of the NMO, the Brazilian NMO, and that's how she realized, okay, the treatment is much better now, and she was calmer, let's say, because of the information that she found in the website. So the website is very important for mothers, fathers who are in this process of having a new baby with hemophilia also.
So I think in terms of hemophilia, there is a lot of people like writing stuff, like mothers and maybe people that don't know the information, the official information. So I think you as organizations have an important role, and in an important role to create places in digital that have the value information and the real and the official information. So I think one of your work here is be the official information in your countries. That's something that will help too much people. Good.
Great. So Miguel is adding a few more people to the Telegram channel. It's great because there you will receive all this information also, and more information as well. So that would be great.
Good. So how do you feel? Do you want to go to the bed? Do you want to stretch? How do you feel? Good? Perfect? Good. Well, if you don't have more questions, I can officially finish our second class. Thanks for joining us today. Thank you to all. Really happy to have you here.